Pandemics, invented in 1800 BC when the Egyptians chose to worship the wrong gods, and so Moses went around spreading his newly crafted biological weapon to show them the error of their ways. Fun fact, if you disagree with someone, you are in your moral right to indirectly murder their eldest son in the most slow and painful way you can imagine. Now, you might be thinking, hold on, the plagues of Egypt weren't pandemics. For a disease to be considered a pandemic, it has to spread across, if not the whole earth, then at least like 3 continents. Well, I'll have you know, that boil-forming, firstborn son-killing bioweapon was also the first ever disease capable of infecting humans, and all other diseases are derived from that single pathogen. Man had not known the wonders of pestilence before Moses, and now we can never forget. Pandemics, just like volcanoes and hippos, are a man-made phenomenon which destroy lives indiscriminately. Tell me, what do dysentery, the T-virus, and Black Plague all have in common? That's right, all 3 of them were developed and spread knowingly with the sole purpose of ruining lives, whether it's through attempting to create super soldiers or making people shit blood nonstop until they die. The result is the same: tragedy. And a series of hits and misses. And the coronavirus is much the same. Is something I would say if I wasn't worried about being thrown in jail with no trial because the Justice Bot's algorithm can't detect irony. So instead of directly talking about the coronavirus, please allow me to go on some generalized tangents and hopefully the street judge bot just gets bored and leaves me alone. So why do pandemics happen? Sometimes they're acts of war, as shown with the earlier Egypt example, or when Europeans arrived in the Americas. Sometimes they're a form of population control. Sometimes they're released by accident, like the Spanish flu or the just the Spanish flu. Who is responsible for pandemics? Well, usually where it comes from is just in its name, isn't it? Some say this promotes an unnecessary amount of xenophobia and racism, to which I ask, what is the necessary amount? Anyway, it can't be racist if we're just saying where the disease started, right? The Spanish flu, the Wuhan virus, yellow fever, the Black Plague. Okay, yeah, you're right. Those last 2 are just racist. Look, it doesn't matter how they came about or where they came from. What really matters is how we respond to them, and it turns out our response to them can be accurately summarized in just a few stages. Stage 1. Denial. No, not the river. In order to hopefully prevent things from reaching Stage 2, oftentimes possible pandemics are kept under wraps. People much more powerful and smarter than you and I try to solve the problem in the background and hope the public just doesn't catch on. Maybe they'll catch a news story about how a guy halfway across the planet sneezed so hard the recoil of it snapped his axis vertebrae, but they'll probably be sure that the doctors and researchers can figure it out before it gets really bad. These higher-ups will constantly reassure you, like, guys, don't worry, everything's okay, there are no problems, just keep going about your lives. And sometimes it works. You guys remember the Zika virus? No. Of course you don't. But if things get really out of hand and the science boys and girls can't contain it on their own, then they need the cooperation of the always reliable general populace. So, someone has to stand behind a podium and go, okay, we lied. Everything is not okay. So in order to get through this, we just need you all to stay calm. Stage 2, panic. Oh god, oh fuck, oh my fucking little beat, this is not good. This is terrible, this is the end of days. I need to say goodbye to all my friends and family. Oh shit, I haven't even started thinking about my will. Oh no! Stage 3, stop panicking. Guys, please. Guys, just stop. Guys, it's been like 4 days of straight pandemonium. How do you even have energy for this? Look, we'll be okay if you just... come on, man. Why do you need all that toilet paper? What, are you going to be doing a lot more shitting than normal? Man's like, I remember dysentery. I'm not letting that shit happen again. Literally. You know, if you were really worried about your life, you wouldn't mind buying that disgusting salted tap water, but you're not. You're just doing this because you see everyone else doing it. And why the fuck are you still out here? Look, I know those other guys were kind of overdoing it, but you guys are not panicking nearly enough. Why is it so hard to follow simple instructions? Just stay home unless you really, really need to go outside. You don't have to hoard every block of marble cheese you can find, and you really don't need to get head from some infected, asymptomatic college girl, because then you're just going to spread the disease to your grandparents by existing near them too hard, and then they're fucking dead. And whose fault would that be? Yours. Oh my based God, why is everyone who isn't me such a fucking idiot? Stage 4, isolation. Being under quarantine can be tough, unless you're a socially distant introvert who has been at this for years. Then you're right in your element. I mean, personally, I've been in self-imposed isolation for going on 2.5 weeks now, and I'll tell you, after 5 months without physical contact with another human being, you start to get used to it. But for most, this is an all-new experience, and it's one that really tests their fortitude. When put in situations such as this, we all have temptations to do things that we know we shouldn't. Be it drink excessively, text your ex, jerk off to your ejaculating bits of your prostate, play League of Legends, maybe in that order. These are all things we know we shouldn't do, and yet and still, sometimes we succumb to our most destructive desires. Maybe, instead of being a worthless piece of shit, you could try taking all this newfound time and put it towards a hobby. Maybe learn a new skill. I, for one, have become quite the Connect 4 player in my time I've spent locked in my basement. Also, I feel pretty confident in my newly developed 3-player chess strategy. Stage 5. Flatten the curve. Hopefully, once everyone has settled into their life of only leaving the house once every 3 weeks, infection rates flatten out and the extreme, unmanageable strain on the world healthcare systems returns to its normal, unmanageable strain. Stage 6. Recovery. After somewhere between 2 months and 3 years, there's either a vaccine or literally everyone has been infected and we've just learned to accept that that's just how it be from now on. Everyone emerges from their homes/prisons and we slowly reintegrate with each other. And if history has taught us anything, it's that after a pandemic, the world usually enters a period of growth, joy, and rejuvenation. The Renaissance kicked off right after the Black Plague, the Spanish flu led straight into the Roaring '20s, and after the Ebola outbreak ended in early 2016, Portugal won the Euro Cup. I mean, what better outcome could you have hoped for? So who knows what glorious wonders await us at the end of this nightmare? All we know for sure is that this pandemic too shall pass, or maybe it'll be like the flu or AIDS and never really go away. Who knows? Not me. Someone smarter than me probably knows. Whatever. Hopefully it passes sooner rather than later. I'm sure with all the very valuable help and hard work provided by these celebs, we'll be through this mess in no time. And now a word from some of my patrons. Agrippa de Rippa, the fuck is a simp? Eitz Kodal, capitalism is the problem. The world needs socialism for the working class. Young American voters, please for the love of motherfuck, vote Bernie. Not me, us. Those who make peaceful revolution impossible make violent revolution inevitable. John F. Kennedy. Brian with an I. Love your content. Wish I could support you more. I'm working on it, okay? Please don't stop. Empress Mermaid. Stupid humans, didn't I tell you to keep your damn garbage out of my ocean? Now look what you did. JK4023. Fuck COVID-19. The only pandemic I'm worried about is OnlyFans. Julian. I see that the diseased god of chaos Nurgle is putting in work again. Space Marines ain't got shit on Nurgle. Nietzsche. My name is Kerr. Bitcoin's time has come to an end as the one true currency. Now is the time for toilet paper. Seba S. Bob. I've been cursing Lil B for the past week, I think. Now the virus is real bad. This is unfortunate.